The most dangerous person in history wasn't always your enemy. Sometimes it was your best friend. Think about it. You can see your enemy coming. You can prepare. You can fight back. But what do you do when the night comes for someone you love? Someone you trusted with your life? History is full of those moments. A general betrayed at his greatest hour. A hero who switched sides. An empire that fell because of one open door. And a battle lost before it even started because someone made a deal behind closed doors. These are the biggest betrayals in history and the moments that changed everything. Here's something nobody tells you about power. The higher you rise, the more people want to take you down. And most of the time, those people aren't strangers. They're the ones sitting next to you at dinner. The ones you called your friends. History isn't just about wars and armies. It's about trust and what happens when that trust gets broken. Every empire, every great leader, every powerful nation has one thing in common. They all had someone they trusted. And for many of them, that trust was the biggest mistake they ever made. Some betrayals were about money. Some were about power. Some were about fear. But all of them changed the world in ways nobody saw coming. And then, betrayal struck. Let's go back to ancient Rome. The year is 44 BC. Julius Caesar is at the top of the world. He has won wars. He has conquered lands. He has crossed the Rubicon River and taken control of Rome. The people love him. The army loves him. He is so powerful that the Senate names him dictator for life. For life. And that's exactly what scared people. Inside the Senate, a group of men started to whisper. They called themselves the Liberatores, the Liberators. They said Caesar had too much power. They said Rome was supposed to be a republic. They said one man should never have that much control. So they made a plan. But here's the part that made this betrayal so painful. The man who led the conspiracy wasn't a random senator. His name was Marcus Junius Brutus, and Caesar loved him like a son. Brutus had fought against Caesar before, but Caesar forgave him. He gave Brutus a high position. He trusted him completely. People even said Caesar might have been Brutus's real father. That trust made what happened next so much worse. On March 15, 44 BC, the Ides of March, Caesar walked into the Senate. He wasn't worried. He had been warned. A soothsayer told him to beware the Ides of March. His wife had a terrible dream and begged him not to go. But Caesar walked in anyway. He saw his friends, his allies, his trusted men. Then they pulled out their knives. 23 senators stabbed Julius Caesar that day. 23. And when Caesar saw Brutus holding a knife, the man he loved, the man he trusted, history says he looked at him and said, "Et tu, Brute? You too, Brutus." Then he fell. Caesar didn't die because his enemies beat him. He died because the people closest to him turned against him. And when he was gone, the Roman Republic he thought they were trying to save fell apart anyway. Rome became an empire, ruled by emperors. The very thing the conspirators feared came true. Because of what they did, Caesar didn't fall to his enemies. He fell to the people he trusted most. But not all betrayals happen in public. Fast forward to 1775. America is at war with Britain. The Revolutionary War has just started, and the colonies need heroes badly. One man steps up. His name is Benedict Arnold. Arnold is a fighter, a real one. He leads his men through brutal winter conditions to attack British forces in Canada. He fights at the Battle of Saratoga, one of the most important battles of the whole war, and helps turn the tide for America. His leg gets badly wounded in the fight. He doesn't quit. George Washington himself calls Arnold one of his best generals. Arnold is an American hero, the real deal. But something starts to change. Arnold starts to feel like nobody appreciates him. Soldiers below him in rank get promoted over him. He spends his own money funding military operations and never gets paid back. He gets accused of corruption. Charges that are eventually dropped, but the damage to his reputation is done. Arnold is angry. He feels used. He feels forgotten. And then he makes a choice that will follow his name forever. He secretly starts writing letters to the British. He passes along information about American military plans. He arranges a deal. He will hand over the American fort at West Point, one of the most important positions in the whole war, to the British. In exchange, money, a lot of it, and a command in the British Army. But the plan falls apart. The British spy he was working with, a man named Major John Andre, gets caught by American soldiers. The letters are found. The deal is exposed. Arnold runs. He escapes to a British ship just before he can be arrested. He spends the rest of his life in Britain and Canada, never welcome in the country he once bled for. His name became a word. In America, calling someone a Benedict Arnold means calling them a traitor. That's how deep the betrayal cut. A hero became one of the most infamous traitors in history. Some betrayals are driven by ambition, others by survival, but some come from within the walls. The year is 1453. The city of Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, has stood for over 1,000 years. It has survived attacks, plagues, and sieges. Its massive walls are legendary. No army has ever broken through them. But this time is different. The Ottoman Sultan Mehmed II has surrounded the city with an enormous army. Historians estimate over 80,000 soldiers. The city's defenders, maybe 7,000. The numbers are almost impossible. Inside the walls, things are bad. The Byzantine Empire has been shrinking for years. There's no money. There aren't enough soldiers. The people inside are divided. Some want to fight. Some want to surrender. Some are arguing about religion when they should be focused on survival. And then something happens that historians still argue about today. A gate in the city walls, the Kirka Porta, is left open. Nobody knows for sure if it was an accident or someone let it open on purpose. But Ottoman soldiers find it. They pour through. And once the enemy is inside the walls, there is no coming back. The city falls. The last Byzantine emperor, Constantine XI, dies fighting in the streets. Constantinople, the city that had stood for 1,000 years, is gone in a single day. Whether the gate was left open by mistake or by someone who wanted the city to fall, the lesson is the same. The walls didn't fail. The people behind them did. Sometimes, empires don't fall from attack. They fall from within. And then there are betrayals that don't just change a city. They change an entire nation. The year is 1757. In the Bengal region of India, a powerful Nawab, a local ruler named Siraj-ud-Dowlah, is facing off against the British East India Company. The British East India Company is not just a business. It has its own army, its own forts, its own agenda, and it wants control of Bengal, one of the richest regions in all of Asia. But Siraj-ud-Dowlah has a massive army. On paper, he should win this fight easily. The British commander, Robert Clive, knows he can't win by force alone, so he makes a different kind of plan. He reaches out to Mir Jafar, one of the most powerful generals in Siraj's own army. The deal is simple. If Mir Jafar stays out of the fight, if he holds his troops back during the battle, the British will make him the next Nawab of Bengal when it's over. Mir Jafar says yes. On June 23, 1757, the two sides meet at Plassey. Siraj-ud-Dowlah looks out at his army. Tens of thousands of soldiers, cannons, elephants. He should have every advantage. But Mir Jafar and his men don't move. They just stand there and watch. The British push forward. Siraj's forces fall apart. The battle is over fast. Siraj-ud-Dowlah tries to flee. He is caught and killed shortly after, betrayed to the end. Mir Jafar gets what he was promised. He becomes the Nawab of Bengal. But Bengal becomes a puppet state, and the British East India Company starts taking control, not just of Bengal, but eventually of the entire Indian subcontinent. One betrayal, one general who decided to switch sides, and the entire future of a nation, hundreds of millions of people, change forever. So why does it keep happening? Why do people betray the ones they're closest to? The answer is almost always the same. People want something, and they can't get it the normal way. Sometimes it's money. Benedict Arnold felt broke and unappreciated. Mir Jafar wanted power and a throne. Sometimes betrayal is about fear. The Roman senators were terrified of what Caesar was becoming. They didn't see another way out. Sometimes people feel left behind, forgotten, replaced. And when people feel that way, the line between loyalty and betrayal gets blurry fast. But there's one thing that stays the same in every single story. The betrayal always hurts more because of how close the person was. A random enemy can't break you the same way a trusted friend can. The closer someone is to you, the more damage they can do. And in history, the people closest to power were always the most dangerous. Caesar trusted Brutus. Brutus stabbed him. America trusted Benedict Arnold. Arnold tried to sell out his own fort. Constantinople trusted its own people to close the gates. The gates stayed open. Siraj-ud-Dowlah trusted his general. His general made a deal with the enemy. Betrayal doesn't have a face. It doesn't look like an enemy. It looks like your best friend, your most trusted general, the person standing right beside you. And that's what makes it so powerful. That's what makes it so dangerous. And that's what makes it repeat itself over and over throughout all of history. Because the greatest threat isn't always the one coming for you. It's the one you already let in. Now, before going somewhere else or jumping to another video, subscribe me for more such interesting videos, and also press like, so this video shows in feed of more people, and press bell icon, so every time I upload new video, you know what to do.